Welcome to the What We Do channel. In other videos, I've already shown you how we plant our garlic, and I've also shown how we harvest and cure our garlic for the long term. Today I want to show you and talk to you about how we look after our garlic throughout the growing season. Once spring hits, your garlic's going to emerge from the ground. It varies a little bit in time depending on the severity of the winter and how early your spring comes. But eventually the garlic's going to get to a 3-leaf stage. And once it hits that 3-leaf stage, it's a good idea to give it its first fertilizing. And for me, from then on, every 2 weeks, I'm going to fertilize it until the scapes start to emerge from the plant, at which point fertilizing is finished for the year. Other than the fertilizing, the other things your garlic is really going to need through the season are weeding and watering. Now, garlic is pretty sensitive to how much water it receives. If you overdo the watering, your garlic's not going to be happy. It'll rot, it'll sulk, it won't grow properly. But if it doesn't get enough water, it's also not going to do very well, and you'll get undersized bulbs. So it's important to water it. I like to give mine a good steady water, but I don't like to keep it waterlogged the whole time. Eventually your garlic is going to throw up scapes, which are actually the flower stalk of the garlic. We like to prune these off because otherwise the energy of the plant will go into making the scape instead of making a nice big fat bulb for you. Normally people wait until the scape does a loop-de-loop and then it's considered time to cut. These are considered to be a gourmet delight. People use them in pestos, stir fries. You can make like a garlic bread with them, all kinds of stuff you can do. They're very expensive if you ever see them in a farmer's market. You might see them in a gourmet restaurant. Don't be surprised you're going to see water shooting out when you cut. If you were to leave they're going to do a couple more loop-de-loops depending on the variety. And then the loops are going to start to unwind until your scape will stand up straight. And it's going to eventually ripen its flower bracket here. And it's going to pop open. And you're going to have some flowers and some bulbils, which are like tiny miniature garlic cloves. The bulbils are really good for propagating garlic. It takes a few years, but if you take them and you grow them on, you can re-establish your garlic. You can get rid of, if you say you have nematodes or some diseases, it's a good way to renew the garlic and make it better. The flowers themselves, funnily enough, are actually sterile. Mankind has been growing garlic the way we do it for so long from bulbs and from individual cloves that the garlic has forgotten how to have sterile, fertile flowers. Now, there are a few varieties, like for instance, the one I grow in the back here, which is chestnut red, which is a very primitive, one of the early garlics. Under certain laboratory conditions, they have been able to give it flowers that produce a true seed, and that research has been ongoing because eventually, if they don't, they're going to lose garlic altogether. I'm afraid there is one more thing you need to look out for. Here in North America, for the longest time, we could grow our garlic without the worry of any insect pests. In fact, people sometimes grind up their garlic and add water and spray it on their other plants to protect it from insects. But in the last few years, an insect from Europe has been introduced called the leek moth, and it's spreading all over North America, especially east of the Rockies. We have it here in Ontario. I know they've got it in New York State. It's just going like wildfire. So it's a good idea to have a look at your garlic and you're checking to any sign of any damage, any eating of the plants. If you see that, it's a really good idea to get some BT and give your garlic a spray. Sometimes when the commercial growers, especially when they're storing their garlic for drying and for curing, the moth will even attack the bulbs that are being stored. So maybe sometimes if it's a year where I've had the leek moth, I'll actually spray the bulbs before I put them in the shed to store them. And of course, BT doesn't hurt anything but the caterpillars of butterflies and moths. Thank you for watching the What We Do channel, and have a great day.